Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. This is the 20th stream. That's right, 20. We've done 20 of these, plus one bonus. Not that Will Smith is hosting the stream, which is rad. Hello, friends, and welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to bring the energy. I'm a little tired. New York Comic Con was happening this week. I had 3 shows in 2 days, walking the show floor yesterday and today. So I'm a little tired, but I'm here to build some Gundam for you. Talk a little bit about there. Yes, thank you, Mr. Bob. Yes, that is the big 20. The 20th stream plus the one game bonus stream we did, which doesn't count as a build stream. So 21 streams, 20 of which were builds. So I want to thank everyone who's in the chat. As always, I'll be checking that throughout this building process. Let's go to the main thing. As we are continuing to work on our Gundam 5, the RX-785 or G5 for the original series. You can see over here, this is what we've done so far. We've completed the chest, the head, and one arm. We're going to do the second arm today. We're going to get rid of this screw because there are only 2 screws in the build, and one of those screws will be used momentarily. So that's great. I'm excited about that. My voice is a little shot. I apologize. But as I said, I had 2 improv shows and a kind of like weird improv hosting show that I did. So my voice is a little gone. So I apologize for that. But yeah, let's get to building. Thanks to a few folks who said hi at New York Comic Con, a couple people that follow the stream, one person that watches on YouTube that can't ever seem to be able to watch me live, but can check it out on YouTube, which is still awesome. So thank you for that. We're going to start working on our other arm. Got one arm done. We're going to work on our left arm. And let's look at that. Some F pieces. This should go pretty quick once I get into the rhythm of it, as I have done one of these already. Obviously, to the other hand, it'll be slightly different, but mostly the same. If you're building anything tonight, let me know in the chat. Feel free to let me know if you're doing any painting or assembly or building. Someone sent me, Zorbs, I believe, sent me a notification on Twitter. Twitter.com/PatBaer, that they bought a SD kit to start working with their youngest daughter. See if their daughter wanted to start building and would be into that, which is rad. I think that's really cool. So yeah, let me know if you're doing anything. Cool Jammer, you're checking in from a hotel in Iceland before bed, still building robots, I see. Yep, still working on robots. I'm working on a Gundam here. The next build we'll be doing after this is the, what do you call it? The X-Wing that we were gifted on my Amazon wish list, which I'll include right here and probably mention later in the show. And those watching on YouTube, it's in the description of the video. That's my Amazon wish list. Someone bought me the, an anonymous person who did not wish to be named, purchased that kit for me and will be building it next after this kit, which is really cool and very nice of them. I'm super psyched about that. It'll be a pretty quick build since we already built one that's almost identical. But yeah, that's the next build on the assembly line after we finish this one, which will be, a ways. We've got certainly some building left to do on this one. Plenty of work left to do on this Gundam, which is from the original series and a side story capacity. But the big, huge weapons it has really drew me to it. So I decided, well, it looks really cool, and I like all the weapons, so I should start probably building that. All right, so we got to add our screw in here. We're going to put a screw in. It's going to keep these 2 pieces here together. And so, as always, I'm using in particular a old screwdriver that's kind of been worn down a little bit. I find a bigger one that's worn is better than a tiny screwdriver for keeping the screw in place while assembling. And luckily, We only have 2 screws, one we already did in our last stream on our weird afternoon stream, which wasn't weird, it was just in the afternoon. Weird for me. And yeah, so that's all we need for this screw. Make sure that it pops in place where we want it. Lock that in place. And then we simply have to push this piece back here, finish the assembly of it. And just take a moment, and there we go. Great. So that should be all we need to do for that. Great. And this is just our part of our arm assembly that we're doing here. Zorbs, hello, welcome. New York Comic Con has been rad as hell. I did an improv show with my friends from Cards Against Humanity that went very, very well. I was thrilled for that. Sorry, folks, I'm really quickly seeing if I did something wrong here. Want to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. Nope, everything looks good. Okay, great. So that went to that. That's that part. Yeah, New York Comic Con has been great. I did 2 improv shows, one Thursday night at the UCB Theater, which is my home theater, as I've mentioned in the past. Got to do a show there with a bunch of friends from Chicago and some friends from New York. And then we did it on Friday as a panel at New York Comic Con. And that went very, very well. I was pleasantly surprised. The sound was great. Audience was really into it. And overall, I was very pleased. I felt real good about it. All right, then I need C and B. Great. I guess you can probably tell I'm losing my voice a little bit. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. It's just the idea of doing two live streams, 2 panels. I did a show last night at midnight at UCB, which is the improvised postmortem. I recorded it. I haven't looked at the footage yet. So hopefully I'll be able to tomorrow night because I'm not working. I'm working like 1 show, and then we'll be home in the evening. So my hope is that when I get home tomorrow, I will be able to look at the footage of the improvised postmortem and hopefully be able to pull something out of that and post either some of it or all of it to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/PatBaer. There is a Build with Baer playlist. If you ever miss part of a stream or all of a stream and you want to catch up, you're more than welcome to go to YouTube and watch the videos there. I upload a couple hours after every stream. All right, so let's assemble these pieces here. Got one more to go in there, but we'll do this first. And that goes like that. As always, once I do it once, it's a little easier to do the second time, but I still like to be pretty thorough because taking these pieces apart is never fun. If something screwed up happens, it's never fun to take these all apart and rebuild it. I will if I have to, obviously, but I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer it to just work and not have to worry about it. The panels of the show went well. Cool Jammer. Yeah, man, travel will get you. I've in the past purchased like concert tickets and then been like, oh wait, no, I'm going to be in another part of the country during that concert. This was a mistake because you get excited about a thing and you're like, oh, I'll go to that, and then realize, oh no, can't do that. But it's cool that you're traveling. Iceland sounds rad. I always wanted to go. It's a beautiful looking country, and there's a lot to do there. And I kind of love that it's just like Reykjavik and then the rest of it. I think that's cool. All right, so we're working on our shoulder piece here. So we'll put that aside. Okay. Continue to work on our shoulder here with some A pieces and some B pieces. Great. Yeah, and then I saw a panel. Trin Garitano from Cards Against Humanity did a panel about friendship with some grad people. And I went and saw that today. Saw some of my friends. Didn't get to see everyone that I wanted to see. Unfortunately, scheduling didn't work out, so I didn't get to see Rich Sommer. Not Rich Sommer. What am I saying? Rich, I haven't seen in forever. Rich Gallup, I didn't see. Rich Sommer, I haven't seen in years. Uh, Rich Gallup, I didn't get to see. He was in town doing some live streams for the video games that he directs, and I unfortunately did not have time when he had time to meet up, which was a bummer. I really wanted to see him. Hopefully, in the future, we will be able to find the time, or I'll just see him at PAX. So what ended up happening with Reykjavik, Cool Jammer, is that a couple of improvisers went to America to take classes, and then a bunch of the rest of them came. And so there's a huge contingent of improvisers that came and took classes at UCB, at the Magnet, at the Pit here in New York, and then took what they learned back. And there are a few people that are like real good, and they started teaching other people. So there's kind of an improv like renaissance happening in Reykjavik, which is rad as hell. I think that's like a really cool random thing. I don't know. I don't know the quality of it. I don't know how long it's been happening, how long it will happen. I just know that that's a thing that's happening, and that's like, I think, really cool. Hello and welcome. Yeah, if you're a subscriber, why don't you throw a Bear Cave emote in the chat? Let me know you're here. Oh, shout outs to, you might watch it later on the stream, The Heels, who was my 25th subscriber. That's right. My 25th subscriber happened today. Can't believe that. That's awesome. As always, when I'll mention when we hit 30, we will do another drawing, and I will get out another. Sorry, I'm just looking at this piece. Okay, that goes there. That okay, great. When I hit 30, we'll do another drawing and get another thing that was the Lego kit. The Lego kit will go out to someone. The Ecto 1 kit. When we hit 30, I'll do another lottery for that. So pretty psyched about that. Zorbs, what's up? So pretty psyched about that. That we're getting closer to it, especially since every as we go into these months, we start hitting up against people whose Twitch accounts, like their Twitch Prime don't auto renew. So that's the thing. If you're thinking about subscribing, if you haven't yet, first time subscribers will get it for half off until TwitchCon, so you have some time. If you would like to do that, it will be half price for the first month if you're a new subscriber. So that might be something you're interested in. I don't know. It would be rad if you did, but you don't have to. I'm not making anybody do anything they don't want to do. This part is a little tricky getting these gold pieces in, so I'll take just a moment to do that real quick, and then we'll be able to move on. A little tiny, but not too bad. So overall, New York Comic Con was rad. There was a pretty awesome Bandai. Bandai always does well. Bandai did particularly well and had some really cool displays this year for Gunpla. There was this whole, I'm going to put the photos on Twitter, probably on Monday. I'll post them up there. But it was like how the different steps and what model kits are and what the grades mean and all that. And a lot of photos, and it was a cool display. And of course, they had a couple really cool, unique, like New York Comic Con exclusives that I did not purchase because I have to be frugal with my income. But man, did I want some of that stuff. It was real cool looking. All right. So I need B and F. B1. The other B. There's two B's and F. I did see the big Megazord that was there. I spent a lot of time in Bandai. I'm gonna be going back tomorrow for just a panel, but I'll probably swing through some stuff that I missed. Um, a few people were like, "Hey, did you see this thing? Hey, did you buy that?" Um, so I looked at a bunch of kits. B B1. That's what I need. Yes, and a lot of stuff looked really awesome. Yeah, which unfortunately I just don't have. Unfortunately, right now I said that a bunch of times. I'm a little tired. I apologize. I went to take a nap today and couldn't fall asleep. This has been a long weekend, so I apologize if I seem a little out of sorts. But yeah, unfortunately I didn't get to see everything, but I got to see a lot of stuff, and it was all very cool. New York Comic Con is always a busy, long weekend, and then adding a bunch of shows in there was fun, but also added to my tired body. One would hope that I will have a little bit more pep in my step next Thursday. Next Thursday, we will be back to our regular time. Don't you worry. That Thursday, actually, I'll say this Thursday afternoon stream, a bunch of people tuned in. I was pleasantly surprised. When I first started doing this, I would have like 3 people watching, and now that a month in or 2 months in, 20 streams later, there were more people available in the afternoon to watch. So I'm not going to change my times. I'm going to keep the Thursday, Saturday schedule as is, 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. But I'm thinking about doing maybe a Friday afternoon stream now and again. I don't think I'm going to be able to do 3 builds in a week until I get my subscription numbers up higher. I don't know if I can dedicate that time, but I'd like to on Fridays maybe play games, like Jackbox, stuff like that with people, do some game streams. I think would be really fun. So I am investigating that as a real possibility. I think it could be very cool. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of the plan right now. Okay. So that goes there. We're now assembling our shoulder piece, getting all those parts together. Comes together pretty quickly here. Once we get all those there, and then this just slides in like that. Right. Great, we got our shoulder done. And of course the anchor piece here, the hook for our weapons. That's established. Great, so we now go back up. We're going to keep working on our arm. Assembly is rolling pretty good here. As I said, I already did this whole arm once, so the other arm's not going to be too tricky. Yeah, if there are any questions you have about anything I'm working on, obviously let me know if you're working on any projects. If you're ever building anything when I'm not streaming, send me Twitter photos of that stuff. Let me know. I always retweet when people tweet me the projects they're working on because that's rad. And I always appreciate that people share things with me. So yeah, if you're working on anything, or if you're just chilling out and relaxing, listen to a live stream. If you've got the Twitch Prime, or if you just want to spend the money, as I said, it is still the sale is still going on. They extended the sale. It was September, now it's Subtober, so you're more than welcome to do that. If that's something you'd be into, because we are getting close to hitting 30, and once we hit 30, we'll raffle off, and I will be mailing out to a lucky person the Ecto 1 Lego kit, our only Lego kit we've done so far. I hopefully will do another one in the future. That's part of the reason why I want to kind of increase the revenue here via subs, is to be able to afford more expensive kits, like the many kits that we have that, like, just as I've said before, it is pricey to buy Lego kits. They're rad. I love them, but they are expensive. All right, so I need D33, D34, great. This is like the outer armor. We're not using it too much. Later in the build, we'll use it a lot, especially for the legs. So it took me a second to find it because Haven't done a lot of work with this piece here. 34, 32. G goes over there. Great. Moving right along with this build. Built that SD gun with my daughter this morning. She loved it. Totally worth it. Zorbs, that's so awesome. I'm so glad you shared that with me. That's so cool. I love that you built. The SD is such a fun, goofy, silly line. Perfect, I think, for someone who doesn't know anything about building that's a young person. I don't know. It might be too goofy for someone who's, a little older, but that's rad. I love that. I love hearing that. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm so glad that she enjoyed it. All right, we're looking for B and E. All right, I'm going to pull out E, which is this one here. Right? E, yep. And B is this one here. Oh, man, I wish I had the room to lay all this stuff out. It's my... it's not a regret by any means, but it is like one of my big wishes is that I had the room for a really long table to do all this in. This card table, bulky wooden card tables type deal, is great because when I'm not streaming, I just fold it up, shove it in the corner, and it works really well. But I wish that I had a nice longer table. Wookins, hello. Wookins, welcome. Thank you for hanging out in the stream. Appreciate it very much. Let's see here. So we are E1 and E7. Great. Yep, so we're doing our builds here, getting all the pieces together we need, working on this arm for our XGO5. As mentioned, the next build we'll do will be that model kit. We got here. Oh, Wookins, thank you for hosting. I appreciate it very much. Hopefully someone that follows you will be interested in checking out my stream. It's very nice of you. Like I said, yeah, we're going to keep going on this. We got a couple more. Obviously, we got a couple more streams left on this. We haven't even touched the legs or the torso or the weapons. So we've got some time left on this stream. But it's been fun to kind of work on this right now. This is Kit. I've never done anything from the original series, other than a Zaku, years ago. But I don't know if I've ever done a master grade for the original series. So I'm pretty psyched about doing this. I got confirmation that, still, Wookins, you never know. Somebody might be following you who doesn't know who I am, and then they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And they come check it out, which is always appreciated. What I was gonna say. So, I just found out confirmation today that my show 404ing it will return to GamerX East. It will either be on November 4th or November 5th. That's the weekend of GamerX East here in New York. I will film it. It'll be properly filmed and hopefully edited properly as well. I'm going to reach out to my usual editors and see if they will be able to work on that project for me like they did last year. So there's 2 404 in November because I'm going to be at GamerX East, and then I will also be at sorry, I just want to make sure I get this right. I'm also going to be at PAX Unplugged in where is that? Philadelphia, which is around the 18th. It's later in November. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving. So I'm going to do 2 404 next month. Oof. That's a lot of 404 I've got some stuff. I always have some stuff ready to go. I've got a subject I know I want to cover. So I'm not worried about it, but it is occasionally it kind of hits me that, oh, I got to start thinking about those things and getting my panelists. I have my panelists together. I'm not going to announce my panelists right now for either. I've announced my Unplugged panelists. But I'm not going to mention GamerX East until they confirm, because they confirmed with me a while ago. Oh, so Zorbs. PAX Unplugged is a brand new PAX that's going to start this year. It's in Philadelphia in November, and the Unplugged refers to the fact that it is focusing on tabletop games. So it's going to be mostly tabletop. Obviously, there's still panels for general things. I believe there are concerts as well, but the focus is really on the tabletop community, which has kind of like really not taken over PAX, but really like made its presence known in other PAXs. So they're kind of dedicating more space to that instead of doing another show where it's a lot of video games and then there is some tabletop around. I'm excited about it. Doing the show. My show for it will be there, even though we don't have anything to do with tabletop. And then also the League of Heels, the wrestling league that I run with Aaron Trites, we will also be there doing our wrestle thing. And we've said it kind of, and I'll mention it to you in chat. So the show, League of Heels show, we will not play any video games on that show. We are going to play wrestling-themed board games and card games. And there are enough to justify that choice. Those that watched the PAX East show and saw us do Uno, I promise you, it will run smoother than our Uno's show, than the Uno that we did there. That was kind of like a test, and we learned a lot from doing it that way, and we mostly learned that we need to work harder on that if we're going to make that a thing that we're doing in a show. All right, so I am going to do some assembly here of these pieces. Okay, so that goes like that. So that goes like this. We are assembling the outer piece around, like the outer armor, which is apparently a bunch of weapons, which is cool. So we're assembling that right now. So yeah, so I got 2 4-4 coming up. I've got my 3rd PAX of the year coming up, which, considering I didn't go to South, like that's a nonsense number. On my YouTube, I put up a video yesterday to start to promote the League of Heels show that is happening in where is that happening? Oh, that's happening in Australia. Yes, that's you heard me right. We're going to Australia, or Aaron Trites of League of Heels is going to Australia. I'm not going to Australia because that's not going to work. No one body slams you or theme upload. You failed. Just kidding. Look for it. So the main thing is that, like, thank you, Wookins. I'm excited about it as well. So, the idea of putting someone through a table, it's fun. That's a very fun wrestling thing. And we're going to be in Philadelphia, the home of Extreme Championship Wrestling. So, like, there's definitely been the sentiment that, like, well, how extreme are we going to get? We have to be pretty extreme, right? And, like, yeah. But also, I want to keep doing the show. So we can only be so extreme before we have to be very cautious. All right, so I don't know what's going on here. This piece is not lined up right. I think I'm putting this weapon in wrong. So I'm going to investigate what I'm doing wrong. Yes, I was putting a piece in wrong, which would explain why they didn't want to snap together right. Figure that out. And then this snaps on here. That. And we got a weapon on our arm. Great. Okay, so we're going to do some assembly. We're going to finish our hands here. We are almost done with our arm, which is rad. We'll do some assembly. We'll finish the arm up, and then we'll start working on, I believe we work on the torso next, if I remember correctly. We'll move our way down. It goes here. This goes... Gotta figure out where this goes. Like that. Yeah, it goes like that. Great. Pardon me for being quiet all of a sudden. And this goes like that. Because this goes like that. Oop, that didn't do what I wanted to do. And that goes Like that. Great. All right, so we've assembled our arm. I'm going to build the hand next. So that's very cool. I'm going to go over here on Twitter. Got a message here. I want to see what that says. Okay, great. That is just a reference to a sort of funny tweet I wrote yesterday. Very fun. All right, cool. So let's build this hand, and then we'll get going there. So I haven't had a chance to watch any really almost anything. I've been so busy this week that I didn't watch any anime or anything since Thursday. We talked briefly on Thursday about what I was watching. I started the third season of Food Wars started this week, so I'm checking that out. And that looks really cool. It was a lot of exposition and not a lot of cooking, so that was kind of a bummer. But I would expect that cooking is going to come up real quick. It had a really stupid episode end where he's like, "Oh yeah, if you lose money, you're expelled," and it's like, of course you are. Every part of that school, cooking school, is high stakes. I haven't seen the movie Blade Runner yet, the new Blade Runner. There's also an anime at Crunchyroll that's like a prequel to the movie, I guess, which is a prequel. So I kind of want to check that out. I have that in my queue. But no, I have not been to the movies. The weekend is often when I get to, like, Saturday afternoon is often when I go, but because of my time needed to spend at not needed, wanting to spend my time at New York Comic Con, I haven't been able to do anything really. I'm like, I haven't been able to see. Oh, you know what? I have actually watched. The only thing I've watched is I'm. Don't worry, guys. I'm caught up on my Hearthstone videos. I follow 3 people on YouTube that make content about Hearthstone. So I've been able to watch all their YouTube videos, and I'm caught up. And then one of the people that I follow on PUBG, tonight after I'm done with this, I will, who makes PUBG videos and a few other things, I will go and watch that person's stream and get caught up on that because I'll say this, I have no interest in playing it, but some of the videos I've watched of Fortnite are pretty fun. The team battles in particular seem pretty cool. I've got no real interest in picking it up, even though it's free. I play a little PUBG, not too much, but I really don't have time for games these days. I'm slowly making my way through the PC version of Vanquished because I love that. And then, of course, I will get the expansion for not expansion, the next party pack for Jackbox. I'll get that because I'll be playing that with friends for like Thanksgiving. I'll bring my laptop and set that up on Thanksgiving. Oh, I guess I should say that. That's probably, I'm not going to stream on Thanksgiving, that Thursday. I'll probably stream that Friday, Thanksgiving weekend. But that's for the foreseeable future. I should be able to do every Thursday until American Thanksgiving in November. I can't imagine I will. All right, hand done. I can't imagine I'll stream on Thanksgiving Day. I will be eating with friends at Friendsgiving, and so yeah. All right. So we're assembling our arm. I'm going to put the other arm on. The weird thing about this is that, like, this shoulder piece wants to slip out, so you have to put pressure that I don't like putting pressure on pieces. So I'm kind of, what I'm doing is I'm getting it started. I'm getting get it connected, and then the shoulder piece is in place, and then we have 2 arms, and we're on our way. Oh, Waffles, please don't subscribe. Zorbs, is your Thanksgiving this weekend? Well, happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I mean, I'll still subscribe on, not subscribe, I'll still stream on American Thanksgiving weekend. I'll probably do like a stream either that Wednesday or that Friday as a makeup for missing Thursday. But yeah, I'm probably not going to do it on that day because I'll go and hang out with friends and celebrate the holiday Well, thank you, Waffles. I appreciate that you wouldn't subscribe for that. But yeah, I mean, believe me, I've heard worse. Not necessarily like you didn't like subscribe, you didn't stream on a day, so I'm out. Like I've definitely heard that. Uh, a few people I know get it far worse than I do as far as that stuff goes. But that's just because like I have most of the people that are subscribing are know me from other things and are interested in it. I think if I ever got bigger, I would start to get people who subscribe because they're really interested in particularly Gundam. And then if I like, had to take a week, like when I went to PAX West, I ended up taking that whole weekend off. There are some people that would be like, that's it. That's it for them. The idea of me not streaming. Some of my friends who have I mean, my friend Kate, she has twitch.tv/Kate. She has so many subscribers, and she loses them when she travels. But she also does 5 streams a week, which is I could not do that. Um, I certainly couldn't do that in this form. Like I couldn't. I don't even like I said. If I add a third day, it's not going to be building. Um, it'll be some sort of games thing, or maybe it'll be like a video game where you build things. I don't know. Like maybe I'd play like Minecraft. I don't know. Yeah, I mean the thing with Kate is a lot of people like they don't. I don't think each person watches every day. I got to imagine that they just tune in when they want to tune in. I mean, I catch a bunch of her streams. I subscribe to her. She does a lot of PUBG, and she does like monthly things with her subscribers, which is rad. Speaking of subscribers, as mentioned, half off for new members for the first month. So if you're thinking about subscribing on the road to 30, where we do our next raffle, you can jump on board now. I got to find D10. This is D10. Oh, had my numbers wrong. Ignore that. I need these D. Yeah, we got it. D31 and D32. Yep. Some of these sheets have very similar colors, so I'm making sure that I'm not pulling out the wrong piece, which I've done in the past. I actually did in this build. There's a piece in the box that I clipped out that I have to remember when I can't find it that it's probably that one. And then I need P23 as well. So we'll do these first. This is the backpack, like booster jet propulsion, because this is a Gundam for space combat and space travel. So it has cool accessories on it. Put those there. I mean, Kerbal. We have seen Vinny. If you go to the 404ing It playlist on hanging on the my YouTube, you can see he did 404ing It a couple years ago at PAX East with Chris Straub and Kate Welch, and it was very fun. So Vinny and I kind of like talked a little, very briefly, about the possibility of me joining in for some, and he and I doing some building for Extra Life, possibly for Giant Bomb's Extra Life. That is obviously not been confirmed, and should be taken with the hugest grain of salt. It literally happened here in this chat room a couple months ago, or a month ago, where he was like, I want to build with you. And I was like, well, let's talk about it. We have not actually talked about it yet. For real, for serious. I dropped a piece, so I'm going to get up out of my chair, see if I can find it. Most likely what'll happen is this little piece, because it's gold-ish, I will find it when I'm packing up all of this gear until next Thursday. I'll find it in a couple days. It's not the end of the world. It happens. No, we wouldn't build for 24 hours. We would be doing building during Extra Life as part of Giant Bomb's, like, whatever, 72 hours or whatever nonsense they do. The idea would be that part of that would be like Vinny's contribution would be like hey, he and I are doing some builds. That's, like I said, that's something I'd love to do, because I don't want to do like 24 hours on my own. I just don't have the stamina for that, the mental stamina for all of that. Like, when we look at this, I dropped a one of the rocket booster pieces that's gold on the other side. I dropped that on the floor. I'm going to find it at some point, but I know I won't find it during the stream. So we're going to keep moving. And let's start building the rest of these rockets. B20B. I gotta make sure that a build off race will be pretty fun. Oh god, a 24-hour build. Like, I don't want to do any. I don't want to be up for 24 hours. I've done that in the past for other things, and it's just not my scene. It's a nightmare. So B23 is the other B. Okay, great. I just dropped there. Dropped the other B. Okay, great. B 12, 15. B23. Where's B23? Okay, found it. Great. Took me a second there. Apologize for that. Yeah, build off would be really fun. Like, yeah, getting the same exact kit and then starting, and then maybe even if it was like building in the background while like other people did other games and checking in, that kind of thing. That could be really cool. But yeah, that's like not a pipe dream, but it's definitely something that like we're discussing, and I really want to do. I also like love working with Vinny, and any excuse to do something with him, with Mr. Caravella would rule, because he's awesome and we have a great rapport, and a good friend of mine that I don't see as much as I would like. It was a bummer that he was unable to travel to due to family stuff. Was unable to travel to Seattle for West, so I would love to be able to do some building with him, because also I know he enjoys it. Yes, Austin has done plenty of Gunpla stuff in the past. I don't know if he's been keeping up with it or if he's done it like anytime recently, but he does enjoy doing gumbo builds. We've actually I've said this on the stream before, but the inspiration for me doing this stream in the first place was his end of the year fake Gunpla show he did one year for Giant Bomb when he was still there. Austin did one, and it kind of reignited my actual passion for doing them. So that I eventually, obviously far later than way too long, figured out actually how to do it, to get the equipment together and to start streaming and doing all that. All right. So we're doing that. We're building rocket boosters here. I need A27. Aha. These pieces are not super tiny, but a little tiny. As I said, I did drop a piece, so hopefully I'll be able to find that when the time comes. I have certainly Wookins. I have thoughts of like finding someone that hasn't done any building before. Of course, there are a couple of y'all out there in the who watch the streams or watch the YouTube archives that have built for the first time because of the streams, which I think is rad as hell. And yeah, I would always kind of like the idea of sitting with someone and going through the process and finding like one of the more modern kits that has like English instructions. Obviously, these instructions are just numbered and they're easy enough to follow, but the more modern kits that have English language instruction could be really fun to use that as a basis for instruction to someone that hadn't done builds before. That's certainly something that I would love to do someday. I don't know if it's in the cards for anytime soon in my life. Um, so that's F17. I need that. All right. And then while I'm using F, I'm going to pull out F16 and F13 because I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, I'm enjoying this build. This backpack is coming together pretty fun. I think it looks really cool. I don't have necessarily a lot of affinity for the original Gundam series that I'm working. Obviously, I'm working on that here. I don't have a super amount of affinity for it, but I think this particular Gundam looks real cool. So I'm into doing that. All right, so that goes in there. This should assemble pretty quick once we get all the pieces together. And then just gotta do this. Build our rocket. So this one, yeah, does this one transform? Oh, that's right. I was like, what are you talking about, Lucas? Oh, that was the difference between what Gundams are and what Transformers are. And then, of course, there are also some Gundams that do transform. Like, there's a couple of the Wing Gundam models that transform. The Ipion transforms into the two-headed dragon. So there are some that do transform, so it gets a little complicated. But yeah, I mean, it's just a thing that she doesn't know anything about. Abby Russell, we're talking about Abby Russell, who is going to be doing something cool with me again. She just did the my New York Comic Con themed improvised postmortem at UCB yesterday. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully the archive of that, the video of that turned out okay. I just set up a camera, pointed it at the stage, and hit record. So I'm not trying. I'm not saying this is definitely going to be great. I'm saying I hope it turned out great. All right, so we did our backpack. That's most of our backpack. We've got like another little piece to put together. We're going to do that now. Not really sure. They're like almost like wings, but I don't know why. So we'll look at that right now. Oh, got Wookins. We'll get here. I've never seen or touched a Gundam in my life. I never tried to watch the show. Yeah, I think like that's I mean, the 8th MS Team is a great like drama show. I often recommend Gundam Wing. I think like it might take a little time to get going. Pardon me, I apologize. But overall, I think it's a very rad show. So I understand why some people would be like, oh, it feels a little slow and feels a little dated because it's the 90s. But I still think Gundam Wing is great. It's still my favorite Gundam. I haven't watched a lot of the modern stuff, and I haven't watched any of Builders. And I know some people really like Builders because Builders is like Rockman EXE style, like for younger viewers and kind of goofy and fun. So I know a bunch of people that really like that show. It's kind of like digital pet. It's almost like digital pets, but they're Gundams. And there's like a legendary one and fighting, and I have to watch it. I have to at least check it out because I've heard some pretty fun things about it and haven't seen it. B9. Okay. Working on the end of our backpack here. We're almost ready to assemble this backpack. Just getting the pieces together that I need for it. I've got a G piece. I don't think I've taken anything off the G sheet. So that's kind of exciting. I mean, exciting is a weird thing to say about I'm pulling pieces off of a sheet, but you know, it means that we're moving along when we start getting into sheets that we haven't used yet. I do get excited about it. I mean, I've said this before. I missed building, and I love that I can teach a little bit about it to some people. Obviously, there's some people who know way more than me about this particular subject, but it's fun to have people in the chat and be able to talk to people and hopefully give them a fun thing to check out. That's really rewarding and awesome. So thank you all. We're about halfway through our stream for the day, so we're not wrapping up or anything, but I got just a little melancholy about it. But I appreciate all of your support, your continued support. It's rad as hell. All right, so this snaps in like that. Just trying to see how these snap in together. Yeah. All right, so we're assembling this piece here. I'm trying to just get this right because it's just a one weird piece. I don't know if it's weird. It's just I'm like not 100% sure about it. Oh, I think I did it wrong. No, I did it right. Okay. Did one of these pieces is wrong, but everything else is right. That's the thing of like a piece like this. Like it's just I was like, oh, I'm probably doing it wrong because this side clearly would be facing the inside of the Gundam and wouldn't be shown. So that was a good indication that I was doing it wrong, which is nice when you get those early enough that you can adjust it and fix it. Otherwise, I would have put it on and been like, this seems wrong. So that's a nice little heads up there. And then these are wrong. Gotta put this on like that. And then paste these in the wrong direction. So I'm flipping them over. Luckily, they put on well. All right, so those go on like that. It goes on like that. And then most likely, what I assume that these are things are going to latch onto this. Most likely, our weapons. So we'll put that there. We're building our backpack here, and then all I need to do is put in. I almost missed this. I'm glad I noticed it. Sorry, my mic moved. H. Gonna put an H into the back of our. Because you can see the back here. There is a spot for a rubber piece, a rubber connector. So we're putting a rubber connector in. Then we'll be ready to attach this to this. This is looking right. I'm just going to try to go a little slow to make sure that I'm lining it up right. And great. And we're good. Cool. So obviously, as you can see, I am missing. Well, fix this. This rocket likes to slide out, it looks like, which is rude. We're missing that back piece that fell on the floor, and then that'll be easy to put in, and I'm not ruining anything by not having it there at the moment. All right. An anime about Gundam rather than a Gundam anime. Okay, I get that. Yeah, it seemed a little more chill and seemed more like for kids, like, hey, check out this show about Gundams. I already really like this. Whoop. And the other rocket fell off. And it fell on the floor, and I will. That'll be easy to get. That is the second piece that I've dropped tonight, but I'm not worried about it because where I build here in the room, I found it. Like I said, this table will go down and go into storage for a week until Thursday, and then while I'm doing that, I will find that little piece that I dropped. But that's also good to know about this build, is that these rockets, these boosters, don't like to stay, and most likely will fall out if I keep playing with them. So that's good to know. All right, so we finished our chest filter arms here. We've got about another half an hour on this stream, which is rad, and we're gonna so do you think this is bigger? I definitely think the chest is bigger, and I think the designs in the Gundam Wing series are a little more sleek as far as Gundams go, and it's a little more bulky as it's the first series. And I think that's it. But the actual size, when it's built, it won't. I don't think it'll be much taller because this is still the 1/100 grade, like the other one was. All right, great. So we're gonna put this aside for now, and we're gonna start working on the legs, and we build our legs up. The one thing, as mentioned, that we did in the G series or G Gundam series is I really liked how those legs had rubber bottoms. These don't. Actually, I was wrong. We're going to build the torso first. Real quick, we're going to put together our torso, and then we start working on the legs. I was wrong. So I need D, which is D here, And great, 18 and 19. Very simple, very easy to do. Yeah, the arms are pretty chunky. This particular model, the 4 and 5, G4 and G5, were said to be made for space travel instead of interplanetary combat. So they made it a little bulkier, it looks like. And the weapons on this one, obviously, that machine gun. Can't wait to use that machine gun uh, and put that together. I've heard I've heard the ammo for that machine gun is the hardest part of this build and kind of a nightmare. So while I'm not necessarily looking forward to a nightmare, I am interested to see what it is. All right, and then I need P. Okay, P. Great. So yeah, we're putting together our crotch area, our torso. Never know exactly what to call this part. The body is what they call it, the body unit. But that's not descriptive. Calling it the body, that doesn't help anything. Thanks everybody who's in the chat, who's chatting. I appreciate that. Thank you everybody who's just watching. It's okay that you're just watching. If you're watching on the YouTube stream later, why not try giving us a live stream watch if you can. I do get some views of people that clearly are unable to watch us live, but if you ever find yourself with the time to do it, we had a few people that watched us on Thursday that had that unfortunately due to their schedule or the place in the world that they live can't watch us live. So I was very happy they were able to watch a little bit of the live afternoon stream. And I will endeavor to do, as I said, maybe not builds, maybe games, or I don't know what else, but something else on Friday streams, because I don't think I can do 3 build days in a row. I certainly can't afford to buy enough kits to do 3 days in a row right now. And also, by Saturday, I would just be so out of it. Once we hit an hour and a half, like obviously with New York Comic Con, I'm pretty tired, but man, I would be so out of it if I had 3 streams in a row of building. All right, so I need D, which is here, and I need C, which is not that. That's D. This is also D. Pardon me while I find the sheet I need. Is that this one? Yes, it is. Great. Yeah, so I've been really happy with the turnout of folks. I'm trying to get to 30. So as I said, it'd be great to hit more than that. Let me real quick right here. Go back in just a moment. I want to check something here. And yeah, I want to thank everybody who's hanging out here in chat. I really appreciate it. And those watching on the stream and all that. Always really fun to have you here. All right, C24. We'll be back next Thursday at the normal time. C24 is the piece that I took out by mistake on the last stream. I was supposed to take out, like, I don't know, B24 or something, and I took out C24. So now I have it, which is great because now it's not going to be sitting waiting for me to use it. It'll be out here in the open. And I've just got to put... This is kind of interesting. So, let's see. I wonder if I can... So this little piece here, and I'll do it over here, has a little slot, a little V slot, a little triangle, and gold has to shine out of it. So I have this kind of big piece here. Let's see if I can show that in there. It's pretty big, and all it's going to do is just slide in to be the gold piece, and then it's gold on the back. And then I'll show that to here. So all that piece was just a tiny little bit of gold, which is like you wouldn't think that when you saw it, but it is like it does pop out or pop as a color, so that's pretty cool. All right, and then we need D28. this one? Oh, no, that's E. There we go. E and D are basically the same color here, so I get a little confused now and again. All right. Okay. And that goes like this. And then that goes like that. Doesn't seem to want to go in where I want it to. So I'm going to blow on it a little bit and then try to slide it in. This piece is, there we go. It's not quite right. I don't know why. It's being a little weird. All right, that's good. We did it. Took a few seconds there. There, we got it in there. Okay. And that's just the front of this. We're just building up our torso here. We've got the back piece, which is this one. We need C. Got a little quiet there. I apologize for that. I'm going to keep apologizing for being quiet as I get sleepier and sleepier. But no, I'm going to be fine until the end of the stream. We got another half an hour of our stream. But yeah, if you're watching anything, anybody's watching any anime, if you're reading anything, let me know in the chat. As always, if you're building stuff and it's like, oh, I do builds, but not while you stream. I like to just have it on in the background while I garden. Just always let me know. And you can always send stuff to my Twitter account, and I'll always retweet if you're building something, because I think it's rad. And I always want to make sure that I'm supporting my subscribers, because you're supporting me and allowing me to do cool stuff like this. Alright, so that's in. And then let's get this one in. That's right. Great. So that's the back piece there. And I need to put something in there. D29. I saw that earlier. It should be this piece here. Great. Got that. Mr. Bob, you're building the Hayuki Shiki Revive. That's awesome. Wookins, yeah, I watched the first episode of the new DuckTales and haven't watched anything since, and I gotta get on that because I liked that first episode, so I think I would like more of it. So I'm definitely interested in checking that out. Because yeah, like I said, I liked that first episode. I think I would like more of it. I'm behind on Rick and Morty. So I bounced off Rick and Morty really fast the first time, the first season. The burps were too much. I just mentally could not fucking handle the burps. And now I've been powering through, and I watched like a couple episodes of people who really like the show were like, look, Skip, just watch this one episode. You'll like it. And so I did that, and I watched a few episodes that I did earnestly enjoy a lot. And that has kept me to push through. And I like the show a lot. I'm not caught up. I finished BoJack Horseman. Oh, God, BoJack Horseman is brutal. I am a would-be actor. Obviously, I've done some acting here and there. Not a lot. Not like, I'm not like in a lot of work out there. I've been able to work a little bit, which has been incredible. And I'm very grateful for that. But I'm not like a working actor. That's not my gig. But it nails it, man. It fucking really nails, like, just feeling like it's one of the saddest shows, like, and most earnest shows I've ever seen on television. And it's stars a horse. Like, so it's so strange. I don't know. I'm not doing that show justice. BoJack Horseman rules. And I know the creator, Raphael. Raphael was part of Old English, which was a sketch troupe here in New York years and years ago. The head designer for BoJack Horseman, Lisa Hannawalt, is dating currently, and has been for years, Adam Newman, who was also not Adam. Sorry, Adam Newman is a comic. I said his name because I'm tired. Adam from Adam Ruins Everything is Adam Conover, not Adam Newman. Adam Conover is dating Lisa, and they've all known each other for a very long time. Raphael and Adam were on Old English together for quite so many years. And I had the pleasure of working with them on a few projects here and there, mostly as a tech at the UCB Theater, but I've known them for quite some time. And I'm very excited for Raphael. I think Raphael rules, and I'm glad that he has a successful animated show. It's weird to say that out loud, but I'm still very happy for him. Oh yeah, The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. That is a great comic. Yeah, the idea of if I kind of like the modernization of some of the characters here and there, particularly Webby. I think Webby rules in this from what I've seen. I obviously haven't watched all of it, and I think that Lin-Manuel Miranda as Gizmo Duck is inspired casting. I think that's a great choice. I think that's just like a good call. They're like, good job everybody, you nailed it. All right, so this piece is weird, so I'm going to try to line it up right. I'm basically just working on the front of this, and it's got kind of like plastic pieces that lock it in place. So finish there, which is weird. I want to mention that there's all this gears detail here, and then you cover it up. And that's strange. I think that's cool, like a level of detail. Like I know it's there, and y'all know it's there, but if you're just looking at the kit, you don't know. Like look, so we're gonna cover up that gold detail. I don't think you can actually see it at all. Maybe you can see it on this camera, but there's some detailing on that gold piece, and we're covering up, and that's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm gonna watch. DuckTales. I'm gonna kind of get through all of it. And okay, so let's put these pieces together. Got to put this here. Oh, no. Okay, so that goes like this. Got it. Or a piece there. The assembly it's different, but it's fairly similar to how these other kind of pieces go. For the torso crotch area. There's a lot of it that's just like pretty similar to other builds. Great. So with that together, I really like the colors on here. The off-white and gray and gold, goldish yellow, I think are cool. And in the back, because of the weapons, has this kind of like thing that pokes down, which is cool. So we finished that. We're going to start working on our feet. We're going to work our feet on the way up, and they're identical. So we're going to be doing like one and then doing the exact same one again. So we'll put this aside. I really just dig these colors. I mean, and the red and all of that. That's one of the reasons why I picked this build is because I just think the colors look cool. All right, so that's. So, Wookins, this is a great question. So, the thing with Donald Duck is that they cheat it. When they want you to understand Donald, he's clearer to understand than he would be at other times. When he's angry and losing it, that's when it's just like a long stream of things. But especially in DuckTales, particularly, less so, I would say, in the other cartoons, the Mickey Mouse cartoons. But in DuckTales, when Uncle Donald shows up, you can pretty much understand what he's saying unless he's angry. There's probably times where it was like, wait, I don't know what that was, but it's also a kids show. And yeah, and then obviously the person that does Donald Duck is the person that has been doing Donald Duck for like forever. It seems like uh, that has always been the same person for a decade or something crazy like that. Um, so I could see the dubbed version in Norwegian being different because that voice actor is making a different choice. I might actually try to find that on the internet because that sounds kind of cool to hear what Donald Duck sounds like in another country. But yeah, I hope that explains it. The Donald is like, there are times where you're not supposed to understand what Donald is saying, and then so it's hard to hear. But most of the time, it just sounds like a speech impediment, and it's not too bad. All right, so we are assembling our legs here. Pretty simple slide in and snap in pieces. We're making sure that our snips are good because our snips with our snipper clips, because we're going to be sliding that in and we want it to be flush, which it is. It made a satisfying snapping noise, which you don't always get with these kits. These kits a lot of times just kind of fit together and you don't get to hear cool snaps, so that was nice. Red Lovely 19, hello, welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. We're working on the leg parts of our Gundam kit, so you can see in the bottom right which Gundam we're working on. Okay, so let's see, that's C14 and C15 and C, then goes into D. All right, figuring this all out here. Oh, that's awesome, Wookins. Red, thank you for checking this out. And thank you for following Wookins all the time. That's awesome. Yeah, we're kind of getting towards the tail end. We got about 15 minutes left of the stream. This weekend of being at New York Comic Con has drained my soul pretty extensively, and I'm looking forward to kicking back and just watching some internet content in a minute or two. Cause yeah, I'm fading a little quickly here. We're gonna finish up the stream. Don't worry, I'm not gonna cut out early, but I am getting a little tired. I'm going back tomorrow for one more panel. The folks at Drawfee, which is the streaming component of College Humor and Dorkly, they are doing a live stream or show. They're not live stream, but they do a lot of drawing comedy live streams, and they are doing a show at New York Comic Con tomorrow in the afternoon. I wish they weren't doing a Sunday show, so that I didn't have to go on Sunday. But they're my friends, and there are a few people in that crew that I never see, so I am making it a point to go out to visit them, and then as soon as that's done, I will go do one show. I got to tech one show for my day job, and then I will be able to run away. Because as I said, I'm tired. Yeah, so that's my plans for tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursday, normal time, as I said. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, doing all that. Fine work. Let me keep the lights on, keep streaming, keep buying kits to make more builds. I'll put my the link to my Amazon wish list. I'm putting here. It's also in the YouTube description. And if you buy something off that for me, let me know, because I don't get a notification. It just shows up in the mail, which seems stupid. they don't like notify you. It just because also like sometimes things go off your wish list because they're unavailable, not because someone purchased it. So I don't have a really good sense of when someone is sending me something. And I think someone else bought one of the Pokemon kits, which I've never built and would be interested to, but I don't know for sure. It might have just been like off of Amazon. So I don't know, which is silly. All right, so we got our feet done. Let's work on our ankles, and then we'll go on there. Let me, Wookins, I'm going to save this link for later. Oh, no, I can't watch it anyway. Okay. Wookins, I'm going to search on my own. Thank you for trying. I'm going to search on my own to find the Norwegian clip of DuckTales because I really want to hear what Donald Duck sounds like in Norwegian. So I'm going to do that on my own time. Right now, let's work on the ankles and armor pieces here for this. T5. Okay, so I need F and I need D. So let's look for F and let's look for D. This is D, so that'll help me in a bit. And then I need you to find F, which is this page. Nope, it's the other one. Fell to the bottom because we haven't used it in a little while. All right, great. Here is F. And so F is F8 and F10. I need. Oh, that's fun. That clip you were trying to share is an old copy from a VHS. Yeah, I'm sure I can probably find it somewhere. There's some there's some region-free version somewhere that I can check it out. I also could try to use my resource of my friend Kirk D'Amato, who is an actor and works for BuzzFeed in LA, and is a diehard DuckTales fan. And I'm sure has heard all of that. So that's something I could always investigate on my own. All right. So we're working on ankles, I guess you could call these. There. Trying not to be sloppy as we cool down on the stream. We're getting towards the end of it. Trying not to like make mistakes or anything because that can happen when you are tired and streaming. So as I said, I definitely said this a few times. If you haven't followed here and you're just watching, you follow the link on Twitter, give me a follow so you know when I'm streaming. Consider giving me a subscription using your Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, if you linked your Twitch Prime to that, you can use your token. If you want to spend dollars, you could do that, and it goes any money I make through subscription goes directly to me purchasing more model kits. So that is all the money there is just me buying more kits to continue to do streams. So that's something you could do. And until TwitchCon, which I believe is the 18th of October, something like that, we are at half price for new subscribers. So you could save money, and Twitch loses money, and I don't lose any money on it, which is pretty great. And then the usual, Donald in different languages is a great idea, Wookins. Just the idea of different languages that we're unaccustomed to in primarily English-speaking countries. The idea of exploring what they sound like in other countries could be very fun. I've heard the nanny in German, and the nanny has a very like specific. Fran Drescher has a very specific part of New York, Yonkers accent. And so it's very weird to hear it in German and someone doing that kind of accent. In the same way that there are parts of the country, like in parts of Japan, like I think like Osaka maybe, where they give them like a hick accent in the English dub. That stuff's really fascinating to me. But anyway, yeah. I always accept bits and cheers if that's something you have. If that's something you can give, my Amazon wish list is great for that stuff as well. Because if you have like Amazon credit, you got some gift cards, burn a hole in your pocket, you could buy me some kits that I would build on stream, and then I would do a video. Although anytime I get anything in the mail, I'm going to do a video for my YouTube where I talk about it and give you a big old thanks on that. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to finish the ankles here and like this little piece of armor that sits around it. And once I do that, we'll wrap up there. Yes, I forget what the assistant on the nanny to the main guy, what her name was. So, fun fact about the nanny that I found out pretty recently, those of you that maybe seen it on like TV Land or something in reruns. So, the butler on the nanny is not a British person. That man is from the middle of the United States, and he just adopted a British accent for stage work, and he is not British. He just has a British, like that kind of proper British accent in the show and in other things that he's done. And that kind of blew my mind when I learned that, because I assumed that that was a British gentleman. The other guy, the main guy on the show, Mr. Sheffield, is British, but the butler is not. He's American. Niles and CC, yes, Babcock, that's right. Yes, good call, Wookins, on remembering all those characters' names. But isn't that wild? Like, normally you find out sometimes that, like, oh, that actor doing a Southern accent is actually British. Weird. It's rare that you're like, oh, that actor doing a British accent is American. That is less likely to hear. And really, really threw me for a loop when I found that out pretty recently. Oops. I dropped a piece. Work around it. I'll find it and attach it later. As I said, I'm getting a little sloppy at the end. Also because I said once I finish this, then I'll be done. And I am tired. So I want to finish this so that I am done. But yeah, we're going to wrap up here in a moment or two. Just doing the last final touches on this leg piece here. Yeah, and then we'll be back on Thursday, and we'll continue building. We will build up the legs, and then we will attach everything, and we will build the weapons. I will probably finish the legs in the next stream, and I think the stream after that, we will complete everything and start our next kit. That's my assumption. I definitely don't think we're going to finish this on Thursday, but I don't think that we will get too far. Next Saturday we'll probably wrap this up, is my guess. That's what I should say. And let's put that there. All right, so we're just about done here. I dropped one of these little pieces. I'm going to find it once I'm done with the stream. I dropped two pieces that I have to find, and they should be pretty easy to find. So I'll do that right now. I want to thank everyone for joining me on the stream. Thank you so much. The archive will be up if you missed it and you want to go back. But we finished our legs here, our feet anyway for our legs. And thanks so much for joining me on the Build with Baer workshop. I will see you next time as we continue to build our G5, the RX-7805. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your weekend. And bye, everybody.